Hello and welcome back to another episode of Ouch That Hurts. I am your host, Yolani. And in today's podcast episode, I will be talking more about 11 life advice that will change the way that you think. So, without any more chit chatting, let's get started. I think 2 years ago, I read the book 100 Essays, 101 Essays that will change the way that you think. And the reason why I decided to talk more about this book is because this book is such a powerful book. And it's written by a woman, which I appreciate, especially in the self help community where not a lot of women publish books in self growth and self development. But I do relate to her. I don't know if it's because she's a woman or because she's had the same experiences as me, or I don't even know. But I really like this book and I recommend it. But these are some of my lessons that I believe that are incredible. I may have gotten some inspiration from them. I read the book like 2 years ago, so I quite don't have all the details in my brain, but I do have some lessons that I would like for you to learn from different books. And yeah, so without any more chit chatting, let's get started. So the very first one is a life lesson that I've learned from probably Bill Gates, and I did it before I knew that was so it was so important to do, and it's the fact that it's so important to write every time you have a book or every time you're reading a book. It's so important. It's so important for you to write on the margins. Whenever you're such a reader, typically people like to take care of the book so well, like they refuse to use a pen and they so write on your book. Disregard the neatness, write down all the thoughts, the emotions, whether you disagree or agree with that book, because at the end of the day, these are books written by humans and you have your life and your experiences also matter. So, yes, these people may be experts, but you also have the final say too, whether or not you agree on them. My other point is number two is starting to know that confidence comes when you know that you're special, when you know that you bring something unique to this world. And for me, I'm gonna let you know why. It's one of those things is that one of my biggest assets is the fact that I jump into something without really knowing about it. And I didn't know about this until someone told me when I was in real estate that when I was a real estate agent, and they told me that I jump into things and that was so important, because sometimes we want to get into the perfect. We want to learn how to speak to people. We want to first learn how to write the best contract or like learn how to negotiate. Like we just over prepare sometimes, and over preparation does kill the confidence because, well, actually, thinking that you have to be over prepared to start something new where it really kills confidence. And that's the problem. I do believe that you need to continuously practice on what you preach, but also jumping to the pool is by far more important. Starting preparing is so important. I do believe that there's a level of preparation that you should have, but when you're contemplating and you've been contemplating for doing to do something for years or for a year or for months and you still haven't gone into it because you're so focused on to learning and learning the most and learning more and learning more, and learning is important, but I would say it should be only 20%. You should learn about that subject 20%, and then after that you can just go and do what you best do. But just over preparation really can kill your confidence. So prepare but not over prepare. Number Over prepare. So number 3 is different good habits correlate to a good life. And this is very important. Often it is by far much healthier. If you do have different goals or different habits than other people, then you will have a better life. And that's the reality of things. If you wake up really early, you will feel like your mental health will improve significantly. And that's part of the process. You will become more successful if you in fact believe in those things, that you have the control, that you are in control of your own destiny, rather than thinking that because the life that you grew up in is very hard. Everybody has a hard life, and everyone's has struggles regardless of their ethnicity, race, nationality, religion. Every single person, regardless of the economic status, do have a problem. And it's whether or not you acknowledge that problem and move on, or continuously um, get back into that habit of like blaming yourself or blaming your situation and blaming the world for it. So that is that. Number four is that small habits every day correlate to an explosive life. And this is an idea from the Atomic Habits book. And in this particular case, James Clear, the author of it, talks about how small habits each day will improve significantly the quality of your life. And I do agree with that, because sometimes we think that in order for us to have revolutionary results in this life, we just got to move into a different house, or we just got to move from a different country to the next, and or we think that we need to move from one job to the next in matter of days or weeks, and that's how the course of our life events will change. And for the most part, that may or may not be true. The way that you really change your habit or you change your life is through those small tiny habits, like drinking more water every day will improve the quality of your skin without you knowing, without realizing that you've done it. Brushing your teeth every day really can't prove, you can't really see any results in the beginning, but then once a period of time, like a month, 2 months of it, you will feel that your teeth and the quality of your health improves. So yes, small habits do correlate to better life and explosive life events. All right. All right. Number five is that it no one will understand your goals, and that's fine. Some parents don't understand their kids expectations, or some parents don't understand their kids dreams, or and some kids don't understand their parents expectations, and that's okay. And learning how to let things go is so important, because it does give you that confidence that many people can acknowledge, or it gives you that confidence that you are capable of of thinking for yourself. And thinking for yourself and what's best for you is really hard, especially when you really care about the opinions of people that you truly care. And there's going to be people who won't understand why you're going to trade school instead of a community college or a 4 year degree program. Some people are never going to understand beauty or finishing school or going to Europe, because that's not their goal. That is not their fantasy. That's not what they desire. And you just got to be okay with people not understanding that aspect of your life. And I think you're going to be more successful and approach life a little bit easier if you do understand that your goals are not the same as other people's goals, especially people from your family group. All right. For me, one of my goals has always been to be like a content creator. Many people in my life don't understand what that is. They just they don't they like to make fun of me for that, but I just have to acknowledge that they don't understand, because that's not their dream and not their goal. And I've been wanting to be a YouTuber since 2015. All right, so number six is that happiness does come from those simple things. And social media, again, I'm going to talk about social media so many times, because it's basically the 21st century drug, the drug of the 21st century. And we just like to compare ourselves with other people that don't have the same lifestyle as us, and we just like to feel like other people. It seems like right now, it seems like happiness comes from buying or going to these beauty trips, or it feels like happiness is like going to a carpet, like Hollywood carpet. That's what I feel like social media has really has been telling us, that like we are very we are very uncontent, or we are not content. We are very unhappy. Yes, that's the word. We are very unhappy with the way that we are living, and therefore we should strive for being a Hollywood actress, and that the glamorous part of life, it's by far the happiest, and that's not true. Just do the simple things like eating your favorite fried chicken with plantains. I do that all the time because I'm the biggest fried chicken with plantain. But my point is that do the things that are very simple, like drinking your favorite coffee from Starbucks. Don't let these people tell you that that's not healthy, or, well, if it's not healthy for you, then it's probably because you have health complications. But don't let people from a community tell you that you don't deserve this, or that you shouldn't be paying for that because it's too expensive, or that you shouldn't be dancing because dancing is evil, whatever. Your happiness comes from within. So it's like those small things, like reading a book. I read my books often. Listening to a podcast. You can do that right now. Just what else? You're doing that with, ouch, that hurts right now. So thank you. So it just comes from this happiness of like beautiful things, of like even like playing in the rain. It's just so exciting. When I was 14, I would do that when I was very young, and I still do it sometimes when my mom's not seeing me, because my mom will think that I'm gonna get sick if I play in the rain. But I realize how important that is for you. Like just don't take your life too serious. Life is not as serious as we would like to think. Yes, we do have to pay, you know, the bills, and we have to secure our future, but just enjoy those beautiful things, like what's it called? Like eating that tiramisu. Like for me, happiness is eating my tiramisu. And I'm so happy that Kelly Stamps agree with me. So Kelly Stamps is a YouTuber, which I really like because she's incredible. And my point being is that happiness comes from the simple things. So eat your favorite bread, drink your favorite coffee, and you'll be good, lady. So, or guy. Seven, bad habits will eat your brain. And most of the times, a bad habit is because you do get a reward instantly. You're getting a reward instantly, and then afterwards, you just feel very sad. And that's social media or any type of prescription. In the beginning, you feel good, but then after you're taking it for a long time, you do feel very, very lethargic and very depressed. And that's very important to acknowledge, because most people don't want to acknowledge that they're very sad. And understanding that you're sad and understanding why you're sad is also key to self development. So, hobbies will feed your brain. This is number 8. It's so important. I I've learned about hobbies in 2020, and I've learned how incredible they can be. And I appreciate having my hobbies. One of this is the podcast. Just doing things that you really enjoy will really affect you in so many ways. For me, at least, I love when I read my books. I really, one of the things I wish I knew how to do is like do my own jewelry. I think I'm gonna start doing that sometime. And also learning more about personal finance. Those are my two favorite hobbies. I don't make fun, like, I don't make money from them, but I really enjoy how there's so many people out there that talk about these things. And I just enjoy when people have, it just gives me so much joy when there's people out there that secure their future through real estate. And that's a hobby of mine. Number 9, understanding that no one's gonna make you happier. It's so important. Not even your mom, not even your dad, not even your spouse, not even your kid or your future kids will make you happy. If you are unhappy right now, you will be unhappy once you get those people in your life. So don't act like you need someone to ha- give that happiness. Happiness comes from within, and like I said, it comes from those habits, it comes from those hobbies, it comes from that incredible life. Also, if you're making fun of my makeup, well, make fun of it because I'm not the best. This is not, what's it called? I'm not a makeup guru. Don't make fun of it, or make fun of it, but don't be evil, because I know I'm not the best expert, and I've been, watching on YouTube how to do the perfect smoky eye. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying my best. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, okay, perfect. Number 10. You should be your own lover because love comes from an emotion, and the emotion should be that you should be very grateful for that person, and that person is you. You should love yourself more than anyone else. I learned this from a podcast. I think Millennial Habits. I don't remember the podcast, but I will let y'all know which one it is. Such a good one because Tam Quartz, one of my favorite YouTubers so far, and is one of my biggest inspirations so far that I like listen to. She was on this podcast talking about that and talking about how you should be loving yourself more than anyone, more than you love your mom or your dad or whoever you prefer, because you were born with yourself. Number 11, do not stress for dumb crap. Just don't. And I know it's hard. It's very hard, but just remember, you're not going to remember about this issue in 20 years. So why are you worrying about this? In 20 years, you're going to be much happier and you're going to be like, I'm so thankful that that thing happened to me back in the days, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have what I have right now. So understanding that, like, whatever's happening right now is temporary, and don't be worrying about dumb crap because you deserve your peace. I think that's it for this episode. I hope you learned a couple things from me. If not, sorry. But I hope you do understand how special and how incredible you are. Yes, I don't know who you are, and you don't know much about me. But one thing that I have to tell you is that every single person in this world came to do something unusual and was born for a purpose. And you're just gonna find that purpose and that happiness because you can find it. All right, so I think that's it. Yeah, so thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. I hope you have an incredible week, and I'll see you on the next episode.